Hi, I'm John from Simply Fog. I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to talk about the video you're about to see and explain the evolution of Simply Fog. Simply Fog is the world's first organic fog solution. We initially created Simply Fog for my haunted attraction. We had been using traditional glycol-based fog fluids, and when I say glycol, I'm really referring to antifreeze. That's what glycols are. We had noticed that some of our actors that were asthmatic had a hard time standing in the standard glycol clouds. We knew that it became harder for them to breathe because it robbed oxygen from them. And it always had a slight odor to it. And as we researched this further, we found that standard glycol fogs, when they're vaporized, when they turn into a fog cloud, release formaldehyde gas. Formaldehyde is a carcinogen, causes cancer. It shouldn't be inhaled. As we looked into it further, we found the manufacturers that manufacture antifreeze or glycols, all of them in America recommend that their product not be used in the production of theatrical fog fluid. When I saw that, I understood that there was a real problem. We went back to the drawing board. We found a way using non-glycol products to create thicker, denser clouds that were safer to breathe. What's very interesting about how Simply Fog works is it's water seeking. So since there's water always or humidity in the air, as Simply Fog gets vaporized, the cloud grows as it seeks the water that's in the air. Standard glycol formulas don't do that very well. Simply Fog will create 30% more fog by volume than an equivalent amount of traditional fog fluid, with the added benefits of being safer to breathe. You don't have to worry about asthmatics in the clouds, and you don't have to worry about cancer. What you're seeing now is an example of Simply Fog head-to-head against one of our competitors' glycol-based fog fluids. And just for points of reference, you're going to see three different sets of colored balloons. The very first balloons at the lowest level are at 4 feet. The second set of balloons is at 8 feet, and I'm referring to the height off the ground. The last set of balloons is at 12 feet in the air. To give you some perspective on this cloud of fog, the first set of balloons, the ones at 4 feet, are 18 feet away from the muzzle of the fog machine. The second line of balloons is 24 feet, and the third line, the one at 12 feet tall, is 30 feet away. This test was conducted over 20 minutes, and we've fast forwarded so you don't have to sit and wait through it. You can watch it in compressed time as the fog cloud grows from its initial cloud. You can look at the hang times and how the clouds seek water. The Simply Fog cloud will start to striate. And when I say that, I'm referring to the density of the cloud. You will see lines in the fog cloud that are denser. And that's because in that space in the air, there was more water available. You're also going to be able to watch and see how long the fog cloud lingers. And what's interesting about Simply Fog, compared to all of our competition, is as you watch it go, the fog cloud grows. As time elapses, the clouds get bigger. At the start of the test, you saw a graduated cylinder brought up on both sides. 100 milliliters of the appropriate fog fluid were placed in that graduated cylinder. The dip tube from the fog machine was dropped into each of those. And then the fog machine, which was at temperature, was run for 30 seconds. The fog was then evaluated over a 20-minute timetable. So what you're seeing is what 30 seconds of fog by each fog producer, what kind of cloud will be produced. You'll notice at the end of the test, as those graduated cylinders are brought up for the camera to view, on the Simply Fog side, 38 milliliters of fog fluid was used to create that cloud. On the Froggy's Bog Fog side, 54 milliliters of fog fluid was used. At the beginning of this, I had mentioned, we have 3 hydroxyl groups in our formulation. They have 2. Hydroxyl groups are what create fog. We have 30% more of them, so you should get 30% more fog or use 30% less fluid to create the same fog cloud. Our fog fluid was manufactured purposely for haunted houses, events that you're really looking for a thick, dense cloud that's safer to breathe. For fire training, for those guys, our heroes that stand there day after day making sure that other firefighters are trained to save our lives safely. Or for theatrical units, whether you're talking about amusement parks or whether we're discussing theaters or bands. This product is good for their customers and good for their actors or employees. At the conclusion of our test, I have some observations about what I witnessed as I stood in the laboratory filming this. And I'm going to go through these with you just briefly. At the fog machine output nozzle, there appears to be a difference between the two fogs tested today. Froggy's Bog Cloud seems to be whiter in color initially, while Simply Fog has an opaquer, slightly bluish hue. However, if you look at the 24-foot mark, both fogs at this distance appear similar. Simply Fog has, again, one more hydroxyl group than Froggy's, and it takes it a little bit of time to grab that moisture out of the air. So as it gets further away from the fog machine, the cloud is going to grow denser. The other observation I had was while standing in the cloud as the test was being conducted, our fog fluid had very little to no detectable odor. The glycol-based fog product had a very petroleum chemically smell as you were standing in the cloud. Basically, what you're smelling at that point is formaldehyde. If you'd like to know more about Simply Fog, call us at 608-563-5555 or visit us on the web at simplyfog.com.